slide. Okay, so that's what we learned last time, right? Just look at this example again, and then we move to next example. Thing here, it asks you to find equation of line with slope equal to -3 and contain the point. So, as we mentioned last time, you know, what does mean slope? Slope means, you know, the angle, right? Basically, slope is characterized by an angle between that straight line and the horizontal line. Is that correct? So, you know, you have many straight lines like that. So if you fix one point, yes, you might fix the line. Is that right? So that's why, you know, in order to write the equation of a straight line, you need slope and at least one point. So, and we have the formula, the point slope form of the equation. This is right here. So once they give you slope m, you just plug it, plug and one point, right? X1, Y1, you just plug it, right? You get what you need, and that's how we write the equation. And now we know the formula of the slope. So if they don't give you slope and they give you 2 points, yes, you still can write the equation of a straight line. Does that make sense? Because if you have coordinates of 2 points, you might find the slope of that straight line. Okay, so this is another example. Okay, that's fine. This is another example, but I think we can skip this because that is kind of, you know, horizontal and vertical. We already talked about it. So let's move to this subsection. Find the equation of a line given 2 points. Okay, that's what we learned. We just discussed. So if they give you 2 points, you can find the slope. You can find the slope, and then using the slope, we can write the equation of straight line. We have 2 points, -1 and 3, -1, 4, and 3, -1. They ask us to graph the line. Of course, we need to find the equation first. Would you please find me the slope? Do you remember the formula of the slope? Please have that formula with you. Okay, you find the formula table. Okay, so the formula of the slope is m equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Okay, that is the formula of the slope. So you plug x1, y1 into this formula, okay, to find m. And after that, you might choose one of the points, right, to write the equation of your straight line. Would you please do that? Find the slope. You have an answer? -504. -504. Okay, -504. Let's check that. So m equal to y1, or they took y2 is -1 minus 4. So you get -5, and then 3 minus -1 minus -1 will be +1, right? So yes, that is -504. And then once you have slope, you write the equation. You just do that previous one. Your equation looks like y minus 4. Okay, in this case, they choose this point. That's fine. You may choose second point. Let's write the equation, then we choose the second point. Then we see actually the equation is the same. So y minus 4 times equal to the slope, -504 times x minus -1 in here is -1. Okay, so You might simplify that. You get 1 minus 4 equal to -5/4. Minus 1 will be plus, right? So you have x plus 1. And you fold this out. I would like to do this, to the end. Let's fold this out. You get -5/4x minus 5/4. Is that correct? And we simplify that. If you simplify, so you bring 94 to the right-hand side and you change the sign. You get the y equal to 95/4x plus 4 minus 5/4. Does that make sense? And then we see 4 minus 5/4 will be 9/4. No, 11/4, sorry. We get 95/4x plus 11/4. So you got that equation. Okay. Now we graph them. We know how to graph that. If you have 2 points, yes, you just plot 2 points on the system of coordinates. The first point, -1, 4. Here is 0. Please, we only need the origin. We need to plot it out. Write that in the picture. Here's the x. Let's write that. Don't forget, please. Here's the y. So x equal to -1 is right here. Y equal to 4 right here. So that's why you got this point. The second one, 3, -1. X equal to 3 is right here. Y -1 is right here. So you got this. This one you have. So you connect them. Okay. I hope you still remember how to graph a straight line using slope. Remember that? Okay, suppose that you have the slope in this case -5/4. Okay, so rise run, right? So if we start from this point, for example, so you have to, okay, I can write that is -5/4, okay? So 4, we move to the right, horizontally on 4 units, is that correct? Horizontally on 1, 2, 3, 4, this right here. And then we have -5. So we move down vertically, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, exactly. We get this one and we connect that. Okay, that's how we graph this straight line. Okay, now I suggest you to use the second point to write the equation. Can you do that? And check and make sure 2 equations are the same. Because in this case, yes, the slope is the same, of course, but they choose the first point. Is that correct? Now we choose the second one. Just make sure that we get the same answer. How about that? Please try that. Okay, let me erase this. Let's choose second point, write the equation, and simplify. I want to keep this equation. Now I choose 3, -1. Okay, so my equation looks like y minus -1, right? Equal to -5/4 times x minus 3. I hope you can see that. And basically, we have y plus 1 equal to -5/4x. -5/4 times -3 will be plus 15/4. Now you bring 1 to the right-hand side part of the equation. You change the sign. You get -1 in here. Then you take 15/4 minus 1. That will be 11/4. 4. So you get exactly the same. 11/4 minus 1 will be 11/4. So you get 11/4 minus 1 will be 11/4. So you get exactly the same. 11/4 minus 1 will be 11/4. So you get exactly the same. 11/4 minus 1 will be 11/4. So you get exactly the same. 11/4 minus 1 will be 11/4. So you get exactly the same. 11/4 minus 1 will be 11/4. So you get exactly the same. 11/4 minus 1 will be 11/4. So you get exactly the same. 11/4 minus 1 will be 11/4. So you get exactly the same. 11/4 minus 1 will be 11/4. So you get exactly the same. 11/4 minus 1 will be 11/4. So you get exactly the same. 11/4 minus 1 will be 11/4. So you get exactly the same. 11/4 minus 1 will be 11/4. So you get exactly the same. 11/4 minus 1 will be 11/4. So you get exactly the same. 11/4 minus 1 will be 11/4. So you get exactly with 1104 and 9505. So you know, you might choose different points, right? It's okay. You should get the same answer. Does that make sense? Agree? Any question about this? No question? Okay. Write an equation of a line in the slope-intercept form. Actually, that's what we did in here. Look at this. This one is the slope-intercept form. Why? Because you have slope right here. And what is the x-intercept? The x-intercept is, no, sorry, this is the y-intercept. You put the x equal to 0, you get the y-intercept. So that is the slope-intercept form. Does that make sense? That is the slope-intercept form of an equation of a line. M, in this case, is the slope. B is the y-intercept. You know, B is the y, because when you plug x equal to 0, you find y equal to b. This is how we can find y-intercept, right? Let me remind you, that is when the case we have x equal to 0. Does that make sense? So, you know, that means in order to find the equation which give me slope, and we can write it in case we have y-intercept. But like we did in the previous example, yes, we may keep the equation in this form: y minus y1 equal to m times x minus x1. Or we can just do a simple calculation, right? Simplification, so you get what you need. So that's what you get here. Now they ask us to graph lines on the same square screen. So from the equation, you can see. Okay, let's look at the first one. Y1 equal to 2. What is the what is the y-intercept? No. The y-intercept is the one where x is the intersection between the straight line and the y-axis. By the way, what is that? Y equal to 2. Y equal to constant. How does the straight line look like? How does the straight line look like? Yeah, it is horizontal. It is horizontal. Y equal to a constant. So the y-intercept, you need a mask? Just wait for me.
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, y-intercept will be x equal to 0, y equal to 2. Does that make sense? Because that is horizontal straight line. Okay, next one, y2 equal to x plus 2. So for y2 equal to x plus 2, you put x equal to 0, the y-intercept will be x equal to 0 and y equal to 2. Because you plug x equal to 0, you get y equal to 2 right here. Does that make sense? And so on. 2, 2, 2, y-intercept. Now we grab them, okay? We grab them. So you have the y-intercept, that means we have one point already. You see that? You have 1 point already. And you look at the equation, you can see the slope. What is the slope of the first straight line? Hmm? What is the slope? Straight line is horizontal. So the slope is 0.
Yeah, 0.
Slope is 0, yes. The slope of the second straight line will be 1. You don't see the 1 right here, but that is 1. The slope of the second one or the third one will be -1, and so on. 3, -3. So we know point. This give you the y-intercept, right? You know the slope, you might graph the equation. Is that correct? Or if you don't want that, you might pick another point. Like, okay, you have y-intercept, and then you for example, I say we know the first equation is easy, right? It's just horizontal. So for the second one, you might pick x equal to 1, for example. You plug 1 into the equation, you get y equal to 1 plus 2 is 3. So you have the y-intercept and you have that point. Does that make sense? So, you might graph differently. But look at this. So there's the y equal to 2. Here is 0. Here is 2. Okay. Horizontal straight line is y equal to 2. Other straight lines, we have very special straight lines in here. All of them have the y-intercept at 2, right? So that's why they have the same intersection right here. That's fine. The first one, y equal to x plus 2. What does it mean y equal to x plus 2? So you have, 1. 1 is 1 by 1 is 1 over 1, right? Is that correct? So you might say you can go to the left on 1 and go up on 1. So you go from here, you go to the left on 1, then you go up on 1, you get this straight line. Does that make sense? We have different methods to draw that. No, it's not big deal. Or you may write, okay, I want to do x-intercepts. In order to find x-intercept of the second straight line, I do this. Let me write y equal to x plus 2, right? In order to find x-intercept, I put the y equal to 0, and I solve for the x. Does that make sense? So I solve x plus 2 equal to 0. From here, I got x equal to -2. So that's -2 is right here. It's -2, 0. So I connect them. Yes, I get this. It depends on your choice. Okay. Other straight lines can be drawn in the same way. So we have 2 points, x, y-intercept, and slope. Okay. You do whatever you want. All right. There's a graph again. No problem. We'll do that. Can you do that for me? Can you graph it for me, please?
Okay.
Now they give you the same slope, the same slope, but different y-intercept. Same slope, but different y-intercept. You can see very, very interesting feature here. Actually, when straight lines have the same slope, they are parallel. They are parallel. So you may start from the first equation, and then when you add or you subtract by some number, actually you only need to shift the straight line along the y-axis up or down. Okay, so with the slope equal to 2, you can write 2 over 1. You go to the right on 1, go up on 2.
And to the right.
Yeah, 2.
Negative 2 or positive?
No, positive. Positive because you know what is 2? 2 is 2 over 1. So you have to move along the 1 first. The x-axis. Move to the right on 1 unit and move up on 2. Let's do that. First point, you start from where? You start from the origin. When x equal to 0, y equal to 0. You start from there. I'm sorry, I don't want to show you this picture. Let's do this with here. That is x, o, and y. So when x equal to 0, y equal to 0. I have 1 point. Here's 1, 1, and 2. So I start from this point from the origin. Since the slope is 2 over 1, I move to the right on 1 and move up on 2, right? Is that correct? I have the second point. So I connect them, I get the straight line. Or you know, you can do this. Yes. Here's the y equal to 2x. You want to make x equal to 0. From here you get y equal to 0. The second point, x equal to 1, y equal to 2. So you have 2 points. You connect them. That's what I would want to do.
So
all right.
When it was asked on one time, what other point that you could get on that line? So do we just find any other point?
Yeah.
That line?
If you don't want 1, you might choose x equal to 2, and then you plug 2 into the equation. You find y equal to 4. It's okay. Any point you want. Does that make sense? All right, now look at this. So that's your straight line. Let's move to the second one. Y equal to 2x plus 1. What does it mean? No, you add to the function, right? An amount equal to 1. Is that correct? That means for each x, the graph is higher on 1 unit. Is that right? I mean, you have to shift the graph up on 1 unit. You get what you need. Is that right? Understand that or not? Please look at me. Please look at me. For a second equation, you have y equal to 2x in here, but you add the 1 for each x. Is that correct? So what does it mean? That means if you are 1 in here, the function value will be 2 plus 1 is 3. Because you add 1 to this. Is that right? I remember at high school, maybe on the 8th grade or 9th grade, you do translation. You remember that? When you study, transformation, so you do like reflection, translation, some kind of that, about some vector. So basically, you add 1 to that. When you translate, you move your straight line up, right, on 1 unit. So basically, what I get. And when you do translation, of course, straight lines will be parallel. Does that make sense? Straight lines will be parallel because you do translation. And you can see that actually, they are parallel because they have the same slope. And then we mentioned last time. What does it mean? In order to determine a straight line, you need a slope and you need a point. In this case, they give you y-intercept. That is a point. Is that correct? So basically, you have to move your straight line parallelly along with the same, slope. And when they fix you the point, you can find that straight line. Is that right? So these two straight lines should be parallel because they have the same slope. And all these straight lines are parallel because they have the same slope. Does that make sense? All right, the third straight line, y equal to 2x minus 1. So you have to shift the graph down on 1 unit because you subtract by 1. Does that make sense? So I will move down here, so I get this. This is -1. Agree? You do almost the same thing for 4 and -4. Just move up and move down. Okay? And all of them are parallel. Is it? Of course, you might draw using that idea, or you might do in traditional way, right? Pick 2 points. At least you have, the y-intercept in here, y-intercept in here, and y-intercept in here. If you need one more point, just for example, the second one, right? And the third one, you might plot x equal to 1, right? You get y equal to 2 times 1 minus 1 is 1. You get the point 1, 1. Does that make sense? The point 1, 1 should be around here. And then you connect with the y-intercept, you get what you need. Agree? Does that make sense? Okay, any question about this? If not, we move to the next example. Any question? No? Okay, that's good. All right. Now let's move to this session. Identify the slope and y-intercept of a line from each equation. So yeah, that is also, I would say, when you see a very general form of the equation, and in order to, sometimes we can write the equation in the form slope and y-intercept, and sometimes we might see the following one. Let me write as ax plus by equal to c. That is the general form of a straight line, a linear equation. So in this section, we learn how to identify the slope and y-intercept. That's it. And again, what is the slope, right? The slope, we have to convert this to the form y equal to mx plus b. So if we can convert this equation into this form, so the m is the slope and the b will be the y-intercept. Is that correct? Is it? Okay. So this example, please. Find the slope m and the y-intercept b of the equation. 3x minus 2y. Okay, 3x minus 2y equal to 6. So you have to convert this equation to the form y equal to mx plus b. You just solve for the y. That's what I asked us to do, basically. Solve the equation for y. This is linear equation, so I hope you can make that.
Do we stay for 0 for the one?
No, you solve for the y. Solve the equation for the y. You don't have to plot anything.
Okay.
But if you want, you can in order to find y-intercept, you can do that. You can put x equal to 0. But let's write the equation in the form y equal to mx plus b. So if you solve for the y, you write the equation like this, and then you write -2y equal to -3x plus 6, right? We have, since we want to solve for the y, you have to collect all terms with the y on one side, other terms in another side. Is that correct? So since here they want to keep -2y, that's fine. They bring 3x to the right-hand side, right? They have to change the sign. So they got -3x plus 6 there. Does that make sense? And next, then divide both sides by -2. They divide both sides by -2, they get. Actually, the first term is -3x divided by -2, right? So that will be -3 over -2. But negative will be cancelled out because you have, that's why they got only 3 over 2. Does that make sense? Let me write this in here. This term would be -3 over -2. And you get, 3.5 x minus 3 because -6 divided by -2. You get -3. And that is the slope by intercept form. From here, the slope is 3 over 2, and y-intercept is -3. That is your slope. That is y-intercept. Does that make sense?
So when we had -2y equals -3x plus 6, so we just do +2 to both sides? Or 6?
What do you mean?
The third step, well, the second step you got.
The second step, I just bring 3x to the right-hand side. I just move 3x to the right-hand side, and I change the sign.
Divide by okay.
And then I divide both sides by -2.
Gotcha, okay. Yeah, gotcha.
You good?
Mm-hmm.
It's very nice, and I would say it's pretty simple.
So
Look.
once we get the y and the x, once we get the y-intercept and the slope, that's what we plug into that?
No, that they already have this form. So the m is equal to 3.5, and b equal to -3. That's what they ask you to do. Find the slope and the y-intercept. Great. This is the graph. All right, look at this. In order to graph, you don't have to write, you don't have to find the slope and y-intercept. As I said, you just need to plot. Basically, you might do x-intercept and y-intercept. So let me show you that. Okay. So how to graph this? I will start from the original equation. I need to find x-intercepts. So we know in order to find x-intercept, we need to put the y equal to 0 and solve for the x. Is that correct? So I solve for the x. I get 3x equal to 6. So x equal to 2. That is my x-intercepts. Does that make sense? In order to find y-intercept, I just put x equal to 0. I write here y-intercept. I put x equal to 0. From the equation, I get -2y equal to 6. Divide both sides by -2, I get y equal to -3. That is the y-intercept. And then I connect them. Does that make sense? So, if they just ask you to graph the equation, to graph a straight line, you can use the equation to graph that without doing this. Does that make sense? Agree? Any question? And of course, you have, in general, you might write okay, that's fine. Now let's graph lines written in general form using intercept. That's what I did. But look at this. I want to show you one thing, right? If they ask you slope, how to find the slope in this case, you have the formula. Okay, the slope is equal to, I would say, -a over b equal to slope Okay, if you have the general formula like that, so the slope would be negative a over b. You don't have to do any transformation, right? Okay, slope is negative a over b. How about that? And what is the y-intercept? The y-intercept in this case will be c over b. And in case when b is not zero, suppose that b is not zero. Okay, so if b is not zero, you have that. The slope is negative a over b, and y-intercept is c over b. Okay, and in order to graph this straight line, you just choose 2 points. You might choose x or y intercepts, right? Or you might just choose actually 2 points. You don't have to do choose x and y intercepts. Let's do this. So you have 2x plus 2y equal to 6. I might choose 2 points, right? Let's say I choose x equal to 0. I find the y-intercept. So I get 2y equal to 6. From here, I get the y equal to 3. I have 1 point. My point is 0 and 3. Okay. You don't have to choose the y equal to 0. You want to choose, x equal to 1. Let's do it, right? It's okay. X equal to 1. Okay. You have 3 times 1 plus 2y equal to 6. That is your choice. You solve for the y. So you get 2y equal to 6 minus 3 equal to 3. Does that make sense? And you solve for the y is 3/2. You have the second point, x equal to 1 and y equal to 3/2. And you plot them on the system of coordinates. You get the straight line. Get it?
So you just gave us 2 ways to do it, right?
Yeah.
Looking for the slope.
Yeah.
Either plug 0 in for x or 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 or 2 or whatever you want. But you don't have to find the slope. You don't have to find the y-intercept. You don't have to do that. You just pick up 2 points. So you give 2 values of x. You find 2 values of y. So that you get 2 points. You connect them. You get what you need. All right, let's draw them. XO and Y, 0 in here. X equal to 0, Y equal to 3. We don't have a good scale, but it's fine. X equal to 0, Y equal to 3. Suppose we have that. X equal to 1. Okay, 1 right here, and Y equal to 3/2. 3/2 is the half of this, right? Second point. Done. Does that make sense? So we have different approaches to solve this problem, to graph a straight line, right? But for me, it's always easier if I choose arbitrary 2 points. In my willing, it depends on me. I don't want any slope. If I have a straight line, okay, I can choose 2 points from that. It's very simple. I don't need any, like slope, y, the same, the first point would be x equal to 0, because when you plug 0, you don't have to calculate that term. You are good to go. Is that correct? The second one you might choose y equal to 0 or whatever, right? Or you might choose x equal to 1 if you don't want y. It's okay. Once you have 2 points, you graph a straight line. Are you good? All right. The next one is, equations are parallelized. We just talked about parallelized in the example before the previous one, right? Parallelized have the same slope. So basically, what does it mean? If they give you an assumption that one straight line is parallel to the other, That basically they give you the slope. Is that correct? Basically, they give you slope. So they give you slope, and you want point. That's it. Look at this. So that these lines are parallel or not? Are parallel. Okay, that means you just need to show that they have the same slope. All right, according to the formula I just wrote you, would you please tell me the slope of this guy? The one with the coefficients. A equal to -3, B equal to 2. So the slope will be negative A over B. The slope is equal to -3 over 2, which is 3 over 2. Is that correct? And what is the slope of this guy? M prime equal to -6 over -4. This is also 3 over 2. So the slopes are equal. They are parallel. Got it? So please remember that formula, okay? It's very simple. Negative A over. Any question? So, I think this would be the last example for today. Find the line that is parallel to a given line. So they give you a point, they give you a straight line, and they say, yeah, you need to find the equation of the straight line passing through this point and parallel to this guy. So as I say, if they give you this straight line, that means they give you slope. Can you tell me please the slope of this guy? Please tell me real quick.
-3 over
3 over 4, right? -3, -A, and right, -3 over -4, which is 3 over 4. Does that make sense? Now you have slope, you have point. You can use the general equation. Y minus y1 equal to m, x minus x1. And you get the equation of that straight line. Does that make sense? Okay, so I get y minus 3 equal to, the slope is 3 over 4 times x minus -1. You simplify that, you get what you do. You good? Easy. Yeah. Again, right? We have some formulas here. You know, general formula, slope y-intercept formula, or you know, this guy. So we just have. You just need to remember that, or you need to have a formula table. And each time, it depends on what they give you. You just apply correctly the formula, and you get what you need. Okay. So I think I stop here. Do you have any question for me? Check the homework, please. For this section, I will assign, you know, the due date for the next Saturday, all right? But I think you have one homework assignment there, with 2.1, I guess so. But check that.
So to find the slope, we can use y equals mx plus b.
Yes, yes.
Or ax plus by equals c.
Yeah, if you have ax plus by equal to c, so the slope is negative a over b.
Okay.
You don't have to convert to the mx plus b.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so have a nice weekend.
Okay.
Interesting. Why?
See, Professor.
you. Let me stop recording.